Okay, so the Arizona Cardinals select Walter Nolen. I'm going to get into the film in just a second and talk about the player and why I like him as a player. I do think some people might have him going a little higher. Some people might have him going a little lower. I don't know if that many people are having him go a little higher, but I do think that, like, ultimately, he's a player I like, and he's a player that fills a need. You look at their current, like, interior defensive line, it's not great, quite frankly. And I do think that last year we saw the Arizona Cardinals, I thought going into the season on paper, not have a very good interior and then, or excuse me, not have very good defense on paper, period. And it actually played pretty well last year. Not amazing. It wasn't like, world beaters or anything, but played a lot better than I expected. Still feels like they need to just add some talent here. And I think that's what they're going to do with a guy like Walter Nolen, who, listen, you play in that division, the Rams love to run the ball. The 49ers love to run the ball. The Seahawks they will run the ball, right? Although they have a new quarterback now, we'll see exactly how things go with them. But ultimately, with the other two teams especially, you need guys who can stop the run, and Walter Nolen is certainly that. The analytics before we get into the film are very strong. A run stop rate of 11.9 and a pass rush win rate of 10.9, which is pretty good for the interior. Now, I will say the other stats you can look at are definitely much better for run defense. He is a run defending interior guy who you hope can do some things in the pass rush situation. And ultimately, I think that's what Arizona is going to look for with someone like Walter Nolen, who, again, I think that just fills a need, and sometimes it's worth it to help, get a guy who's going to be a good player and is going to fill a need. And they do have, Dalvin Tomlinson, they have Calais Campbell. So, I shouldn't say there's no one there, but those are players getting older, right? And ultimately, they're not going to be out there every snap. You're going to need more than just two interior defensive linemen. So now they have more, and honestly, that could be pretty good next year. So if everyone ends up staying healthy and plays well. So yeah, I've rambled enough. We can get into the film. Let's talk about Walter Nolen. So let's start off with a play like this. So what's going to happen here is, it's a little bit difficult to tell just from this still frame, but he is currently lined up against the left guard. However, he's going to ultimately go up one-on-one against the center. That's how this is going to work. And really what this play will just show is his power, how strong of a player he is. Watch as, this is a highlight reel level rep, isn't it? That's pretty good stuff there, by Walter Nolen. And these are the kind of things that you like about him. These highlight reel level plays, especially, when he has a one-on-one matchup like this, he can really be, successful. And it's why many feel as though he could be a really good run defender, especially, is because he can essentially, overpower the center, which makes you feel like you have to double team him, which helps everybody else out, basically. Now, I will say, going over to a play like this, he is not a great pass rusher. I'm not saying he's a black hole there, but quite frankly, you have him out there because of his run defense. And this play is a good example where it's going to once again be a one-on-one matchup against a center. This time, though, this is not going to be a passing play, although it is going to be it's not going to be a rushing play. It's going to be a passing play, but it's also going to be a play action, so that's worth mentioning. When this play begins, you're going to see that right here, the center is able to get his arms out, and really, I do think for Nolen, he could, I think, do a better job at getting his hands more involved in the pass rush game. Maybe this is something you can develop for sure. Get him in, now an NFL, coaching staff and all that stuff, and try to develop this kind of thing, because I do think he has good hands when it comes to run defense. But as of right here, watch what happens. Look, you're going to see that really, the offensive lineman's able to get the hand placement they want. Nolen is not able to generate too much pressure there at all. Again, that's not really his game. Don't get me wrong, he definitely shows flashes of it. Like this play, for example, is definitely him showing flashes of it. So he's going up one-on-one against the center. This time he's just lined up against the center, so no funny business here. Watch as when this play begins, you see right here, again, I'm not even sure if I would fully say this is hands as much as it is footwork. He is so nimble for his size at 305 pounds that, it almost reminds you of a young Ninamoking Sue type. Again, high praise, not quite saying that, but when he was at his best, you saw that footwork. You can see a little bit of that with Nolen. Watch how, because of the footwork, he gets around and is able to just essentially blow up that play. Now, again, I think Sue was better at getting his hands involved in pass rush, so Nolen has to develop that, but he certainly has the technique, or excuse me, he certainly has the talent. And being just 21 years old, you have to feel like that's at least possible. That's on the table for a guy like Walter Nolen. Play like this is fun. So what's going to happen here is, so you see where he is on this play, going to be going up one-on-one against the guy who is also in that circle, 71 for Georgia. When this play begins, you're going to see right here, again, it's getting the hands involved in the running game. I don't know why he's so much better at that in run defense, but you see that right hand, his right hand, and how it's on the left side of 71's body. And then watch him just use the power to shove him aside. Again, 71 has a different assignment, so it's not like he's just dominating that matchup. But ultimately, it's getting past him quickly and still disrupting 71, so he can't really make his block. Now, you have the running back who's kind of in shouting distance right here. And watch Nolen show off great hustle to finish off this play and help make a tackle. That's good stuff there from Walter Nolen, right? And again, these are the kind of things that you look for when you see him. And these aren't, again, sometimes these, these types of film studies can be difficult because the reality is everyone that gets drafted has positives, right? But it's about consistency. And what I like about Nolen is he is consistently making these types of plays. Also, this play as well, so you're going to see him, it's going to be double teamed on this play. And that's definitely something you want to pay attention to with interior defensive linemen, especially guys who are kind of billed as good run defenders, right? Is how well are they actually going to do when you have multiple guys on them? Because sometimes you have these guys who, when you get two guys on them, they just get blocked way out of the way. But Nolen, first, watch how he just completely gets around the first guy. So the guy all the way to the right now is just on the ground. So that's pretty good. And while Nolen is going to try and get through the gap that's right in front of him, and that's not actually where the running back is going, watch as he does successfully do that. He gets through, and had the running play been anywhere in his direction, it would have been blown up. It just went to the other side of the field. What are you going to do? But ultimately, this is what you like about Walter Nolen. He is ultimately I think, an elite level run defending prospect. But unlike some of these run defending prospects that it's almost an insult, like that's all they can do, he does have enough potential, in my opinion, in the pass rush game to be a every snap player. And it feels like his floor is still a very good, first and second down player. So ultimately, that's why I like him a lot as a prospect. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on Walter Nolen and what he can bring to his new team. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video and want to hear more of my thoughts, well, for one thing, you can check out my movie channel. Yes, I have a movie channel. You can check the link in the description below. I do some fun things like some movie reviews, even some TV show reviews, tier list, fun things like that, so you can check that out. Also, make sure that you are subscribed and paying attention to this channel, as there will be plenty of draft content. I plan on making a video for every first round pick, many of the other picks throughout the draft, and also I will do recaps for each team after the draft is over. So I will eventually talk about every single pick from your favorite team. Be on the lookout for that, as it will be out this weekend. And also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. I am at Jackson Kruger, or X, whatever you prefer to call it. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks again for watching till the end of the video.